Hey guys, index card a day, day 2. Index card a day is a challenge to do art on an index card every day for the month of June and July. So I'm starting out on my day 2 card with 3 colors of Dina Wakley Media acrylic paint. I have Blushing, Raspberry, and Stoked. And then I also am going to add some of the Amsterdam acrylic in permanent red violet. I had never used the Amsterdam paint, and I had won it in a cat cur giveaway, and I am obsessed. So do you remember yesterday we used texture paste through a Donna Downey stencil? The extra I just wiped off on this other card I had started. So I'm going to start laying down my color. I'm going to try to make it like a little blendy, but really what I was going for is I wanted like a solid tone color in the background, but I wanted a little bit of variation so it wasn't flat and boring. Really though, in the end, it ended up kind of looking flat. Boring? No. Flat? Yes. So my extra paint goes in my Dina Wakley ledger journal to start a page at another time. I'm going to add some dots of that blushing, but it wasn't enough contrast for me, so I got some distress paint in saltwater taffy to try to get more of a contrast. But the nice thing about distress paint is the way it reacts with water. So I thought that I would put some down on my card and then spray it with water and get it like moving and flowing, and like maybe it would do like kind of like some marbly effects, but also in the end you can't really tell. So I'm going to make sure that's dry, and I'm going to use the red violet, which is really just fuchsia, to go around my card to kind of frame it in a little bit. And I'm just going to use my finger for that. And I'm also going to go a little bit on some of the letters, like around the edges or the texture paste. I'm going to add one of these transparencies from Dina Wakley Media, and I have no idea from what pack this is from. They all kind of ended up together, so I have no idea. I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to cut him to fit my card, but his legs kind of like hang over a little bit, and I'm not sure if I'm going to chop his legs off or just leave them hanging. I'll decide later. So to adhere him to the card, I'm just going to use my sewing machine, a little zigzag stitch and a straight stitch just at the top, so he's like flapping around there. And then I want like a little embellishment kind of cluster, because I was going to add some journaling like underneath him. I don't end up doing that, but this is just like a background I was playing with. It's got teals and limes. It's distress stain, and it's got like the embossing glaze on it. And I love teal and green. Well, green is the opposite of red, so it looks really good with like magenta, since green's the opposite of red. But I like teal with red. You know what I feel about teal. Teal is green's cooler older cousin that would buy you booze and take you to house parties. So I'm also underneath going to add a little bit of, it's like a circle that I cut out from the Dina Wakley ledger. I don't know, just for like a little neutral, I guess. And then the bird is from Fly High. The stamp set is called Dina Wakley. And instead of journaling underneath my guy there, I just wrote the word seeking, which seems to be showing up all over my art. If I had a word of the year, I guess that would be the word. So for a finishing touch, I'm going to take my Artist Loft acrylic ink in turquoise, and I couldn't decide if I wanted aggressive splatters or demure splatters. And if you're new here, aggressive splatters are like those big, bold, bam splatters. And demure splatters are just kind of like the soft, like sprinkly, tiny splatters. So in the end, I went with demure splatters, and I love the way that sits on top of the acetate there. And yeah, that's it for day 2. Thank you so much. I love the acetate. That my only issue is that it photographs so, like, it's hard to photograph and film too if you have lights. So at any rate, thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye, guys.